Hey guys, this is going to be a setup guide video where I kind of show you how to set up your frogs so that you can basic target breed very quickly, just like I did in my other guide video. And yeah, this is just going to show you how to do that. So first of all, you are going to need all of the primary and secondary colors. Now, a good way to have sort of a checklist for this is to use your Froggy decks. Go ahead and go to any kind, and here you go. These are all of the primary colors. You can just see that right off the bat. So you can go in here and say, oh, I don't have a maroon frog yet, or I don't have a maroon Anura yet. Go ahead and get a maroon one. Look for a maroon one. If you see one, breed with it or get it from the gift in the pond, and take that and add that to your little collection. You say, oh, I don't have a red one. Well, look around for a red one. Or if you come across one and it's Tangelo in the pond, but you already have one, go ahead and ignore it, because you don't need it. Unless it's a pattern that you don't have, then you want to keep that, or a secondary. So you can do that for the primaries and the secondaries. So if you come across a Tingo in the pond, you say, oh, I don't have a Tingo. Well, go ahead and take it, breed it, get that into your stock of primary and secondary colors. And that may take a little bit, but eventually you can compact it down to 3 habitats of frogs. So all the primaries and all the secondaries are in these 3 habitats. In this one, I've got my maroon Tingo. Here I've got a red Tingo. There are going to be a few repeats because there are less secondary colors than there are primary colors. So no matter what, you can't help it, there are going to be a few repeats. Next is Tangelo Corota, Orange Ceres. So you see how almost every single one of these frogs is going to have both the secondary and the primary different than the one before it. There are a few cases of repeats, but that's once again because there are less secondaries than primaries. This is the best way to do it so that you can fit them all into the least possible space. Golden Aurum, Yellow Aurum, there's a repeat. Lime Folium, Green Muscus, and then it goes into the next habitat, where I've got Emerald Muscus, I believe, and then Olive Pruny, and a whole bunch of... I've just got them all. Right? And so this also, where they end up in descending colors, that took me a little bit to do, but I thought it looked kind of cool, so I thought it was worth it. So yeah, if you want to do that, you can go ahead and add me as a friend and look at my frogs. If you want to say, oh, I want all the primaries and secondaries, but I want it to look like that, then you can go ahead and look at my frogs anytime and say, oh, well, I don't have a maroon Tingo, and breed that and stuff. So that's a good guideline if you want to do that. You don't have to. Yes, so now we're going to be moving on to the kinds. And here, it's best to put all of the kinds or the patterns in your catalog, because as you can see, well, you can't see because of my camera, but my catalog, the catalog can only hold 50 frogs maximum. My catalog has 37 frogs. Now if I were to put all 37 of those into habitats, it would take up a lot. So basically just think 37 divided by 8, and that's how many things it would take. Well, what is 36? Wow, I can't do math. But anyway, if you take 32, that's it. 32, which is almost 37, and you divide that by 8, you get 4. That is 4 habitats. So if you take these 3 habitats, which are used for the colors, and then add 4 more onto that, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That only leaves you your nursery. So that's not worth it because you don't have any workspace. So it is best to put those in your catalog, and just as you level up and unlock new frogs, new patterns, it'll tell you what patterns you unlocked when you level up. Try to remember those patterns and look for them in the pond. As soon as you find one, get the pattern and catalog it. It doesn't matter the color necessarily. Yeah, it doesn't really matter the color, just as long as you have the pattern in your catalog. That way you can buy the pattern at any time and you'll always have it available. So the catalog is a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, when you're actually going to have a lot of money later on, it will be worth it. So yeah, just you'll have to take my word on that. Alright, so another thing, if you make all of the frogs in your catalog the same color scheme as one of your frogs in here, this isn't really necessary, but for those of you who really want to do this hardcore and make sure everything is just right, then, like, for example, I'll just choose one of these. Go to this one, here, Maroon Tingo. I'll use this one as an example. This has the primary and secondary Maroon and Tingo. If I were to make every single frog in my catalog Maroon, Tingo, and then whatever pattern it is, then since I have every single one of these as that pattern already, or as that color scheme already, I can sell this one frog over here, and that'll free up another spot. Because if I'm trying to make something of a certain pattern with the secondary of Tingo, I don't have to breed anything with that anymore. It already has Tingo on it. So now all I have to worry about is the primary. Or if I want to breed a frog that is maroon, like if I wanted a maroon Crystalli or something like that, then I would take a Crystalli from my catalog. It would already have maroon on it because I made all of them Maroon Tingo. And then all I would have to find is the right secondary for it. So that's a pretty good way to do it. I'm going to try to do that later on. I'm not really going to do it right now because I have to breed a whole lot of high-level frogs to get all of my legendaries and stuff to be the same color scheme, and that's going to be a pain in the neck, I think, with lots of growing time. But yeah, I do plan to do it eventually. So I think that is just about it. Yeah, I will give you a tips and tricks video next where I'll show you a bunch of smaller things that will usually end up making a bigger difference in the long run, and you'll be glad you did it if you do follow those ideas. So yeah, that'll be all for this video. See you later, guys.